Looks like I'm stuck at work again.
Oh, really? I was just about to serve dinner. You mentioned this morning that you were craving fried chicken, and it's almost ready.
I'll have dinner at home, but not that.
Alright, it's probably not the best idea to have fried food late at night anyway. Don't forget to pick up something lighter on your way home.
What did you just say?
Is something wrong?
Are you joking? Isn't it your responsibility to ensure I have a hot meal waiting when I get home? Don't tell me to fend for myself. That's just not right.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I understand that your work schedule can be unpredictable, but I did prepare dinner for you. It took quite some time, too. You said you didn't want to eat it late, so it seemed logical for you to grab something lighter on your way home.
Aren't you my wife? Isn't it your duty to anticipate situations like this? Besides, you're just a housewife.
Yes, and your point is?
Listen, when I come home after a long day of work, the last thing I want is to worry about finding food. Why do I even have to explain this? Are you really that indifferent?
Indifferent? Is it indifferent to spend hours preparing the dinner you requested? And now you expect me to start all over again? And not only prepare a new meal, but also ensure it's hot and ready for whenever you decide to come home?
You don't have any other responsibilities. Just go out, buy whatever you need, and make it happen. You're just a housewife after all. It shouldn't be that hard. You get to relax all day while I'm out working. All I'm asking is for a few hours of your time. Stop relying on me for everything and contribute for once.
How dare you call me a leech? I only quit my job because you wanted me to stay at home. You know very well that I wanted to continue working. If maybe I should go back to work.
Yes, I did say that I preferred if you stayed at home, but the decision was ultimately yours.
Enough is enough. If all you're going to do is complain, then maybe it's time for me to go back to work. At least there I'll be surrounded by reasonable adults.
Don't be absurd. We work at the same company. That's one of the reasons why I suggested you stay at home in the first place. It's inappropriate for spouses to work together. Plus, it would be embarrassing if you tried to return now.
We met at work, remember? No one cared then and no one will care now. And as far as I know, my old position is still open. Nathaniel, you've changed since we got married. We used to be able to talk without any issues, but now it feels like everything I do is wrong in your eyes.
I'm just saying that it's only natural that a woman should focus all of her energy on her husband and having children after she gets married.
Excuse me? Where did that come from?
I mean, that's what my mom always said. She was always able to anticipate my dad's needs before he had to say anything.
Oh, yeah. I can see you're saying that. I get where this is coming from now.
Maybe it's a bit old-fashioned, but I believe a woman should be at home taking care of her family and being a comfort to her man. That's the best way for a woman to demonstrate her feminine virtue. If she can't do those things, then she's a failure as a woman. I'm sorry to say, but it's just the truth.
I'm sorry, what year do you think this is again? Maybe those things were true when your mom was young. The world has changed a lot since then. That woman you described is not me.
So what are you saying then? That my mother is too old to have an opinion on things even though she has had a long, successful marriage?
Please don't twist what I say into something dramatic. But those reasons aren't the reasons you married me, right? We fell in love and wanted to build our own life together. That's it. Instead of sticking to old-fashioned rules that don't work very well in this day and age, we should focus on doing what's right for us.
I get where you're coming from, but it is important to me to take the advice of my mother seriously. She's been married for a long time. She knows what she's talking about. Anyways, as for dinner, like I said, I don't want the fried chicken tonight. I think something lighter, like a stir-fry with no rice, would sit better on my stomach that late at night. Got it?
Seriously, I spent a lot of time on this chicken, and I spent quite a bit on the ingredients. It would be a massive waste to start over with another full meal. Please be serious. I would have to go to the store again and spend even more money. And we are only on one income now? That's a pretty unreasonable demand.
Will you just make it happen, please?
Hey, Nathaniel, do you have a second? Something really strange just happened, and I need to talk to you about it.
What is it?
Well, I left the house for a little bit to grab some groceries. And when I got back, your mom had let herself into our house while no one was home.
Okay, is that it?
I didn't even know she had a key. It was kind of terrifying to come home to her just there with no warning. I know she's family, but I feel like this is going a bit too far.
Honestly, I don't see a problem with it. We have nothing to hide.
What? You're just okay with it?
It's fine. Don't bother me with stupid crap like this.
But this is not her house. It's ours. Of course she's welcome here. But there should be some boundaries. I'm not comfortable with someone making a key to our house. I don't even know how she did it.
It's just not that big of a deal. She didn't the key. I gave it to her.
Wait, what? You did?
I told her she could come over anytime and I gave her a key. I already told her that she could. So it's not a big deal that she did it.
Okay, well, still. Why didn't you tell me about this? I think I have a right to know who has access to our home.
So now I need to talk to you about every little thing?
Of course not. That's not what I said. But we do live in the same house. Some level of communication about this would be nice.
No, I am the man of the house. I shouldn't have to consult you about what happens in my own home. I don't understand why in the hell you're still complaining. You were upset because you thought someone came into our house uninvited? I just told you that's not the case. So there shouldn't be a problem. If it were your mom, I wouldn't have a problem with it. You need to have more respect and appreciation for my mother.
Appreciating what someone does for us and giving them free reign in our house are two different things. We can respect her while having privacy in our home.
I don't see my mom coming over as an invasion of privacy. How could you say that?
Of course it is. Most parents don't even go into their children's bedroom without permission, even when they're still living with them. It's a simple matter of respect for personal space. You are a grown man, not a child, and she still feels like she has the right to enter your personal space whenever she pleases. And it's not just your home, but mine too. That's just not okay.
Just wait a minute. You're getting awfully heated about this.
It is strange. She's the one that needs to have more respect. Respect for us and our home. It's tactless and inconsiderate to just show up unannounced and let yourself into someone's home.
That's enough. I can't believe you would insult my mother like this.
Oh yeah, let's see how you feel about this. What do you think she was up to in her house while no one was home? She was going through our things in our bedroom. There's no way that you can say she had any business being in there at all. She was even going through our trash. The trash! You have to admit, that's just gross.
It's okay. I know what this is about. She's worried about having grandkids sometime in the near future. I'm the only son, so they are counting on me to have a son and pass on the family name.
That's not any better. How can you keep defending her? God, you're such a mama's boy. I always knew you two had an unhealthy relationship. I thought I could handle it, but this just goes too far.
What? Because I show my mother a healthy amount of respect and consideration that somehow makes me a mama's boy?
Can you seriously not see how unhealthy this is? If this was anyone else I know, you'd not think this kind of behavior is okay. But what your mother was doing is really invasive and unhealthy, especially seeing as how she thinks of me as nothing more than a built-in slave.
What do you mean by that?
Even though I do the housekeeping at their house, in addition to taking care of our house.
Huh? She never mentioned that to me.
She asked me a few weeks ago to come help her do a little cleaning and grab a few things for her at the store. I thought it was a one-time thing, so I didn't mind helping out. But now it's nearly every day. It's just too much. It's not normal for her to expect so much.
Stop it, Monica. You're just spinning ridiculous lies, and we both know it.
It's not a lie. Feel free to ask your mom about it.
That's enough, Monica.
What's enough?
I'm getting more and more angry with you every second. My mom came over. She has a key. Get over it. I can't deal with this. I won't be coming home tonight.
What? Why?
I'm going to stay with my parents tonight. I'm going to tell my mom everything that you've said. You've been pretty freaking rude.
Why would you do that? This is a private conversation between you and me.
Who do you think allows you to live in that house? Maybe if you spend the night alone, you'll cool off and see the reason.
Don't talk like that, Nathaniel. And please don't try to avoid the problem by running away.
I'm not going to come home just to hear you talk crap about my mother. You need to take some time and think about how messed up the things you've said tonight are. I overheard your conversation with my mother. How could you raise your voice at her and treat her like she's beneath you? Who do you think you are?
Yes, I did that. And let me be clear, I won't be apologizing. I returned home from the store to find her rummaging through our bedroom again. I won't tolerate it.
The issue isn't what she was doing. How could you be so cold-hearted?
Your mother is the one who's cold-hearted and inhuman.
So, we're resorting to name-calling now? So, you're not going to call her and apologize? I'll pretend I didn't hear that about my mom. What you're going to do now is leave this house. Go straight to my mother's place and apologize to her face to face.
There's no way I'm apologizing to her. In fact, I don't even want an apology from her. It would just be empty words. She destroyed a priceless family heirloom.
What heirloom?
My mother's engagement ring. It had her and my dad's initials engraved on the inside. Your perfect mother shattered it with a hammer.
The ring with a large diamond? She really did that? I can't believe she would do something so reckless.
That's all you have to say?
What do you mean? What else should I say? If she was messing with a hammer, I'm just relieved she didn't injure herself.
You've got to be kidding me. You do remember that my parents passed away years ago, right? That ring was the only memento I had of them. Your mother destroyed the last piece of them that I had left. And all you care about is that she didn't hurt herself. And you expect me to rush over there and apologize? Over my dead body. Not unless she can bring back my ring.
Monica, calm down. I get it. I understand why you're upset, but there must have been a reason for her actions. So why don't you admit whatever it is that provoked her into doing that?
She wanted the diamond. That's why she did it.
What? That doesn't make sense.
She's been pestering me for that ring for a while now. I kept refusing because it belonged to my parents.
See, that's how I know you're lying. My mom would never make such a demand.
Oh, really? When you're around, she's all sweetness and light. But when it's just the two of us, she turns into a materialistic tyrant.
Don't speak about my mother like that again. And whether you like it or not, you have to put up with her because she's my mother, and there's no way I'm cutting her out of my life for anything. There must be more to this story that you're not telling me. Something that puts the blame on you.
Seriously? You're going to pin this on me?
Well, if it was so valuable to you, why did you leave it out in the open? If it were me, I would have taken extra measures to secure something that important.
It was in a safe in our bedroom. How much more secure could it have been? I don't even know how she managed to open the safe. But if we're assigning blame, let's look at the person who gave her a key to our house in the first place.
That's not my fault. I wasn't even there when it happened.
I see how it is. Your mother treats me like a doormat, and you always excuse her behavior because she's your mother. I thought I could handle it, but this is the last straw. I won't just let this slide, and I certainly won't forgive her. Not now, not ever.
Okay, calm down. You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Just so we're clear, which part exactly am I exaggerating?
How about the part where you claim she treats you like a slave? So she asked for a little help. Just because you were annoyed doesn't mean it's slavery.
Go over to your parents' house almost every day to clean up after them and maintain their house, even though she's perfectly capable of doing it herself. And your dad is hardly ever there because he is always working, so he can't make much of a mess. She just doesn't want to clean up after herself. But if I tell her I can't do it, she comes over here and gives me an endless lecture about gratitude. I've even lent her money at times, which she never pays back. And I know she'll never thank me for it. But I'm the ungrateful one, right? If that's not slavery, then what would you call it?
You need to face reality. You have no family. You're not particularly attractive. You have quite an attitude. Despite all that, they accepted you into the family as my wife.
So that's what you really think of me? It's good to know where I stand.
Well, maybe that was a bit harsh, but it's no harsher than the things you've said about them. Really? You keep painting my mom as the villain, but have you taken a good look at your own actions?
It's not that I'm painting her as villain. She is a villain. Destroying someone else's property, especially something priceless, is the act of a villain.
You always have an answer for everything. Don't you ever get tired of arguing with me? You know what? If you can't stand the situation, then leave my house.
What?
If you think you can make it on your own, then leave.
Why does it give you such pleasure to talk about me leaving like that?
If you would just admit that you're wrong and know your place, all these problems would disappear. You should give my mother the diamond from your mother's engagement ring as an apology for what you said to her.
There is no reasoning with you at all. Your suggestion is so detached from reality, I don't even know where to begin.
It's the least you can do after all we've done for you already. Your attitude is beyond comprehension.
You know what? Maybe leaving is the best option.
Fine by me. I'll get in touch with a lawyer about the divorce then.
Fine. I want a divorce too.
Wait, what?
What part of I want a divorce do you not understand?
I didn't think you were serious. You really want a divorce?
I'll start looking for a new place to live right away. It might take some time though. So I'll stay here for another month, or leave sooner if I can.
Wow, the audacity. You insult my family, refuse to apologize, and now you expect to live in my house for another month?
Divorce is a process, Nathaniel. It doesn't matter if you want me out immediately. These things take time.
Well, if it's inevitable, then by all means, stay. Stay as long as you need. I'll move in with my parents until you're done using my house.
Okay. That seems like the best arrangement.
You're serious about this?
Why wouldn't I be?
It doesn't matter. Nowhere else to go. Once you've cooled down and come to your senses, I'm sure you'll be ready to apologize. You should get used to apologizing to her. You'll need to start showing some respect.
Are you really this dense? When I say I'm leaving, I mean it. I'm not coming back to this mess.
Yes, you will. As soon as your stubbornness wears off. It's such a beautiful morning. Now that you've gotten out of my house, I'm sure you've done your share of celebrating too.
Good morning, Nathaniel.
How was the move you've gotten all of your stuff out, right?
I just left the house for good.
You finally decided to stop being a leech. Good for you. It's good that you're capable of becoming a better person.
I'm glad too. It took me too long to do this.
Where did you get so confident from all of a sudden? Well, it seems like you have finally cooled off. Do you realize what you did was wrong yet? If you apologize now, it might not be too late. You know, you might even be able to get the deposit on the apartment back.
What are you talking about? I've been cool-headed about this since we agreed to get a divorce.
Oh, really? Well, whenever you're ready to say you're sorry, let me know. I'll probably forgive you.
That's okay. I don't think I'll ever feel the need to take you up on that offer.
Why are women always so stubborn like this? How can you all stand to be so emotional all the time? It's exhausting. Well, I'm sure you'll come back to me crying and begging for me to take you back sooner or later. What on earth is going on here?
What are you talking about?
My mom called me, upset about a legal notice she received from an attorney. Are you seriously suing her over that broken ring?
It's quite a mess, isn't it?
Okay, call your lawyer right now and have them withdraw the case. She's dealing with a lot with my dad right now. She can't handle this. Did you hear about what's happening?
Oh, that. Yeah, I heard your dad left.
What do you mean he left? He hasn't been home for a few days and we were starting to worry. But he didn't mention anything about leaving my mom.
To be honest, before I filed for divorce, I asked your dad to meet me privately. I was curious if he knew about everything that had transpired between us and between me and your mom. He's been really busy with work lately, so I thought he might not be aware of everything. So I called him and he agreed to meet me at his office.
Why would you do that?
I told you I will never forgive your mother. Or you, for that matter. He asked me why we were separating, and I told him it was because of how your mother treated me, and your refusal to explain everything to him exactly as it happened. He was shocked at his wife's behavior, and even more so at how you defended her actions.
What? He believed you?
He talked a lot about how your mom has always been overprotective of you, but he never thought she'd deliberately destroy someone else's property, especially something so valuable. He apologized to me for what happened.
He apologized to you? How could you go behind my back like that?
He said that he'd cut ties with both of you over what happened. So that's how I found out he'd be leaving your mother.
You need to stay out of my family's affairs. I can't believe you had a hand in this.
You're seeing a new side of me now. I warned you that my patience had run out. It's not my fault that all you did was dismiss me and refuse to listen. Anyway, after our talk, your dad introduced me to a lawyer at his company. He even told the lawyer that he planned on leaving your mom after all this happened.
He's actually siding with you in this? He's choosing to believe some woman over his own wife and some woman over his own wife and son? What is my mom supposed to do without him? She hasn't worked in years. There's no way she can support herself.
Well, that sounds like your problem now, doesn't it?
What do you mean by that?
You let your mother do whatever she wants whenever she wants and put her on a pedestal. I think the two of you would make quite the pair. She'll probably have destruction of property on her criminal record soon enough. So she'll really need your help.
Criminal record? She never committed a crime.
Really? You've conveniently forgotten about the attorney who contacted her regarding my ring. So yes, I'm dragging her to court.
You're living in a fantasy. No court would entertain such a case. You lack solid proof. It's merely your word against hers about the ring.
Interesting. The attorney I consulted seems to think you're the ones out of touch with reality. He's quite confident that this will be a straightforward case.
And why is that?
But I'm sure she'll manage somehow. Her son, I believe, will take good care of her. So, there's no reason for me to hold back, right?
Wait, let's just pause for a moment. I apologize. If she expresses remorse, would you consider dropping the case and forgiving her?
Unlikely. At this stage, any apology would lack sincerity. She'd only be trying to dodge the fallout.
What about the ring? I can ensure you're reimbursed for it.
You really don't get it, do you? I don't want compensation. No sum of money can replace what that ring signified to me.
There must be something I can do. I'll also cover any damages in addition to the cost of the ring. Do you recall its price when your parents purchased it?
$15,000.
$15,000?
I doubt you could even afford that much.
That ring couldn't have possibly cost that much. What was its actual price?
The diamond in that ring was 1 carat.
Cost that much. It's beyond my means to pay you such an amount.
Whether you pay or not is immaterial to me. As I said, no amount of money can bring back my ring, so see you in court.
Wait. There must be a way.
Honestly, you're being quite tiresome about this whole thing. Have you not been listening?
Please, just tell me what you want me to do. My only aim is to set things right.
Why? You never seemed interested in doing right by me before.
Because my father has disappeared without a trace. I'll need to hire a private investigator to locate him. Plus, I'll have to look after my mother if my dad doesn't return and she fails to secure employment. I don't have the funds to handle all this.
Oh, poor Nathaniel.
And if my mother is labeled a criminal, I work in security. If I'm linked with someone with a criminal record, it could jeopardize my clearance and job.
Perhaps so, but that's not my concern.
Please, I implore you. What can I do? There has to be something.
I don't believe there is.
I'm begging you on bended knees. Just tell me what it is and I'll do it.
How pathetic. If only I could see your face now.
Please, I admit my mistake now. I should have sided with you from the start. So please tell me what needs to be done for your forgiveness.
Nope. There's nothing you can do.
Please, I made a mistake. I'm only human. Don't you feel anything for me anymore?
Actually, Nathaniel, do you remember what you said when you asked me to marry you? When you proposed, you said that you wanted me to be a part of your family. I told you I wasn't sure if I was ready to get married because I didn't want to give up my career. You said that you'd do everything you could to make me so happy that I wouldn't have to worry about anything. You asked me to believe in you, to trust you enough to follow you through our lives. So I trusted you and married you despite everything I was worried about. And in the end, I quit work for you. I became incredibly unhappy with my life. And something precious to me was destroyed.
Monica, I'm so sorry. Really.
I was angry at first, but I cooled off and looked back on our time together. And now the only thing I find strange is that I ever fell in love with you.
How can you say that? That's cruel.
I feel nothing for you. Goodbye, Nathaniel.
Please don't say that. I was wrong. I'll say it as many times as you want. If you come back, I can still make you happy. I will, I promise. Monica, are you there? This time will be different. I swear.
The court case did end up going to court, of course. And his mother left carelessly destroyed the one thing I had to remind me of my parents. I wanted her to pay for it somehow. Money was not enough. The case became a scandal in our small town, and everyone shunned her. I left not only my husband, but also a witch who tormented me. Although he didn't break any laws, Nathaniel was also implicated in the case. He enabled his mother to enter her house by giving her the key, thus giving her the opportunity to destroy the ring. Because he works in security, this is a bad look for him. He ended up contacting me to talk about his financial struggles after all was said and done. But I blocked his number. I still have the broken pieces of my mother's ring. I'm going to have to work hard for a while, but I'd like to get it repaired someday.